Hey everybody, it is Sunday the 11th, so happy Mother's Day. I'm working here in the permits booth. Today is my first shift by myself. It's been a really slow day, it's been kind of rainy, so I haven't sold any permits today. But yeah, I've just been kind of hanging out in the office. Yesterday I didn't do any filming. I mainly just sat in the office yesterday and kind of I guess kept watching how to sell permits. We sold boating permits yesterday. We sold probably about 15 boating permits. So, but yeah, because it's rainy today, we don't have anybody buying permits. So yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out and I'll keep you guys updated later on in the week if anything changes. So have a good day. Okay, so I just got a video that mom sent me of everyone saying hi to me at home. Yeah, I miss you guys. I love you guys and I hope y'all are having a great Mother's Day. I do have to include this picture of Lance because he literally made my day. So Lance, I'm sorry you're gonna be in the next slide because you saying hi to me made my day.
Back there, I think I got Summer. I miss Jay. He is.
But yeah, I literally laughed out loud when I saw that, but I thought it was so sweet. So hi Lance. Also, this website is open to the public, so you can make your own reservations in advance for this park. However, only 1/3 of the campsites open up to the public. So the other 2/3 are for like the day before reservations, so walk-up reservations is what we call them. So you're allowed to reserve your site the day before the start of your trip. So you couldn't come to me like 7 days before your trip and be like, oh, I want to book this campsite. You can't do that. You have to wait the day before the start of your trip. So like, let's say I wanted to book for the 12th. I would have to come today to book my trip, which is the 11th. So yeah, that's what, sorry, there's a ground squirrel. Hang on. He's right there. He's chilling out. Sorry, he distracted me. They're so cute. I love ground squirrels so much. But yeah, so you could come the day before to book your trip. So normally we get booked up like pretty quick. So the advance reservations, they told me they'll go live like at midnight on like January something, and every single advance reservation is booked within the first 5 minutes of it opening. Like, I'm not joking, within the first 5 minutes. So you have people come up and like ask if they could change their reservations, things like that. But I did want to show you guys the website, so if you ever need to make a reservation, that's what it looks like and that's how you do it. So you can do that yourself if you choose to do advanced reservations. And like we tell people, check the website like every day because if you do want a reservation, people tend to cancel all the time. So definitely check the website. But like I said, you can try to do walk-up permits the day before the day of your trip. And basically you just stand in line. You can stand in line as early as you want, and then you'll be the first in line whenever the windows open. So just come as early as you can, stand in line to try to get those reservations. And even those aren't 100% guarantee, but typically if you're doing it, you know, the day before your trip, we can at least try to accommodate something if you are flexible with your trip. So yeah, I did just want to let you guys know. Doing some journaling while I'm here. Those are drawing some stuff. Okay, so survived the storm. It was crazy. It was an awesome storm. Got back to the house. We're having girls' craft night with Claire, Sophie from Fire Crew, and her roommate, Sophia. And then I wanted to give an update on my shrooms, so hang on. The shrooms are looking absolutely beautiful. Look at how big these things are. Here's my hand in comparison. They have gotten so big. Like, that's crazy. There's a little rainbow. Okay, I forgot to film our stamps last night, but basically it's super cool. You get like this piece of rubber. It's like a rubber piece. And Claire and Sophie taught me how to do this. And then you can either sketch a design directly on, or you can transfer like a design onto like the piece. And then you literally carve it out. And so I did like this little like native looking bear. And I did a fishbone. I actually didn't try the fishbone last night, but I thought he kind of looked cool. And then, let me show you in my journal. Hang on 1 second, because this was pretty cool, because I forgot to show. When you stamp them, this is what they look like. I mean, that's so cool. This is the one that I did. This one's one that Sophie did, and Claire did this one a while back. Last night she worked on some drawing, so she didn't make a stamp last night, but she's really, really good. But I thought our stamps turned out super cool. So now we just have this little stamp. You can just stamp it wherever. But yeah, you put like acrylic paint and you like roll it onto the stamp, and then you stamp it. And I think that they are super talented for being able to figure this out. Okay, this morning I am doing the Jenny Lake hike because the majority of the snow has finally melted off this trail. I still think the back half is a little covered in snow, but we're gonna check it out. So this is about a 2-mile trail. So I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like along the way. Also, just a little tidbit about the ecosystem, but you'll notice that all of these trees are pretty much identical. This is lodgepole pine. It is the most common species of tree in Grand Teton National Park.
Attention all units, all stations, stand by for message.
We are running into a good bit of snow here on the trail. It's still partially cleared, but there was a tree down up ahead, so I decided to turn back and I'm gonna head to the docks. Hey guys, so I drove down closer to Moose, and there's this trail called Blacktail Butte, and I am going to attempt to summit that mountain. So this mountain was primarily carved out by a glacier, and the mountain pretty much is just all sedimentary rock. So anyway, thought that was cool. Felt like you guys should know in case you want to hike this trail, or not know, but I just thought it was an interesting tidbit. So we're about to climb this and see how it goes. So, oh yeah, just a friendly reminder, always carry your bear spray with you. And then since I am an employee, I'm carrying my radio. So if anything happens, I will have that radio. But yeah, and then obviously water. That's the third thing that I'm going to be bringing on this trail. But yeah, I think that that's pretty much all that we need. So it's a beautiful day out. Let's see if we can summit this mountain. It's about a 3.5-hour hike, roughly, and it is labeled as hard to difficult. So we're gonna see how this goes. So already I can see that there's a problem. There's a tree down on the trail. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, this is the start of the hike. So, okay, so this trail is closed. Big tree. Yeah, so we're gonna head back down. So actually I overshot the trail. It was in the parking lot. So yeah, always make sure you're reading the signs very closely. So that's a bit. Also, here's another nature fact for you. All these bushes that we're seeing here, this is going to be sage. So it's in the beginning stages of growing right now. You can smell, but do not pick the sage. So all these bushes will be sage bushes. Alright guys, we are now entering an aspen tree grove. So this is the second type of tree that I'm going to talk to you guys about today. And they're just starting to bud. I love aspens. They're my favorite type of tree in the whole world. So aspens are North America's largest living organism, one of the largest living organisms. So these trees are all interconnected at their roots. So basically, like you see, this tree has like a fungus growing on it. The other trees can actually absorb this disease through the roots, so it can infect other trees in the grove. Aspens are my favorite trees for numerous different reasons, but the first being is that, so they're all connected at the roots. They grow in a grove together, so you'll see like a bunch of them all together in the same place, which is super cool. They only grow where at some point in time there's been trauma done to the land. So whether that's like rocks falling or the earth shifting or there, have been a fire, they grow there. So they grow in really hardy places, which is super cool. And then lastly, in the fall, they are actually, I think don't quote me on this, I think they're the only tree out west, well, here in this park, to change color. So, like in the Appalachians, we have the trees that will change colors. They're the only ones that will change, and they'll change to this gorgeous, like, yellow, orangey color. There's so many of them here. I love seeing them. This gorgeous, like, yellowy kind of color. So they're kind of like, hear me, see me, I'm not invisible. That sounds so corny, but that's why I love them. So, because the rest of the world is gray during that time. But yeah, so that is the second species of tree that we will have in the Grand Tetons, along with the sage and lodgepole pine. So if I stumble upon another native species, I'll let you guys know. I'm probably going to be filming so much, but look at all of these aspens. And this trail is absolutely beautiful as well. So this is the first kind of like lookout point, I should say. And it's called Mountain View. But yeah, I thought that was a beautiful view right there. And then we have the trail here. Also, just a little bit of L&T education. So which is leave no trace, if anybody didn't know that. So you'll notice like this trail is pretty muddy here. So what we want to do is naturally, we don't want to walk through the mud. But in this case, we want to walk through the mud because you see this tight little like footpath here. So if I step out of here and I walk this way to avoid the mud, I start wearing this down and the mud will kind of like coincide over here. So it creates a larger footpath, and we, as obviously like outdoor enthusiasts, want to leave as a minimal of a impact as we can. So if we see mud is fun, we want to walk through it. So please try and not walk around the trail. Like I said, that'll make a larger, it's called a social trail, and it'll wear down more of the land. So we want to keep a minimal impact as possible. Here's another safety tidbit. So if you ever see rock structures like this, you always want to be checking the tops of those, because wolves like to ambush from high places. So thankfully I haven't seen any tracks, which I've also been keeping an eye out for, wildlife tracks. But I did just want to give that tidbit, so check your rock structures. Alright, got another cool nature tidbit for you here. So this is animal poop. Okay, sorry, I know it's gross, but very interesting. You can tell the difference between moose poop and elk poop based off the size of the turd. Sorry, I know it's gross, but this is from a moose. You can clearly see compared, I'm not gonna like actually touch it, but to my hand how big that turd is. So a moose has been on this trail here. So yeah, it's another cool little tidbit. Okay, so we have some snow here. So basically I'm gonna try to stay in the footholds that other people have made. Now, however, if I was to step down into the snow, that's what we call post-holing. So you'll hear people say, oh, like, there was a lot of post-holing that you had to do. That's what that means. It's basically like, or like sticking your stick through the hole of the snow. So also, this is another thing to watch for on trees. These are from a bear's claws. I don't know if you can see the claw marks, but that bear was either sharpening its claws or trying to eat the bark. So yeah, wanted to point that out. I have made it to the second lookout point on this trail. This is what the view looks like from, this is where I came from, this is the trail I came from. I've been going all uphill at this point, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna hit one more viewpoint before I turn off to go summit Blacktail. So anyway, just wanted to show that. Got another tree marking there. That was also made from a bear. But yeah, we're gonna continue on this trail. So anyway, documenting this for the backcountry record. There is a tree down along the path, and there is a lot of water pooling over there. But yeah. Okay, this is super cool. This is a elk, or not elk, a moose print. Look at how big that thing is compared to my hand. So, that's a moose. I had to film this. This is a little lookout point. Singular little flower growing up here. There's some pretty blue ones too. I feel like this area will be covered in those flowers the more spring it gets. I have a little colony of ants, and their hole is right there. And I've been watching them go in and out. We also have these beautiful flowers right here that are just starting to bloom. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be some form of Indian paintbrush, which is Wyoming's state flower. This whole hike is just absolutely beautiful. Also, as I was starting to post hole, I thought this was another person track. It is not. This is a bear track, and it's its back foot. So that would make that one its front foot. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. You could make out that print really nicely in the snow there. You can see the claws and everything. Okay, this is crazy. Look at those claw slices. And this is fairly recent. This tree is very sap sticky. So I'm gonna be on an extra lookout because that is pretty fresh. This is very cool. This is very pretty. I don't know for a fact. I don't know if you guys kind of see how it's kind of like in the, it's like pooled. I think that this is what we call a glacier pool. So basically all the snow melt from the winter glaciers will melt down into this pool, and then over the winter it like freezes over. But I hear lots of frogs down there right now. We're back in an opening, so we made it all the way to Glacier Pool. Here we are at the third overlook before we summit. It is absolutely beautiful here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. We're gonna be going that way. So I found some kind of a flower that looks like a sunflower all the way up here.
641, 643, 30-minute ETA.
Covered in lichen, and this is a living organism. So I like to tell people, if you see it, try not to step on rocks like that unless you like absolutely have to if they're on trail. I thought that was so pretty. Like, look at the swirl. This is the closest thing I'll there, so I'm about to go check it out. Okay, these are the bones. I think that they're animal bones, but I always report bones anytime I find them. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a little bit of education on what to do if you stumble upon bones like that. So I like to say, if you feel confident and safe enough, definitely go investigate it, as long as it's not in an area that you shouldn't be walking. Thankfully, after further examination of those bones, you could clearly see the fur and the hoof, so it looked like some type of elk, probably like a bear or something had drug its prey up here to eat it. So I went up. You take seismic placement photos. You don't want to touch the bones unless you can call dispatch and they ask you to collect them, which might be the case sometimes depending on you. Always want to call dispatch to report bones if you're unsure if they're human or animal. So for instance, I know my foot is a size 7.5. So I put my foot next to the bone and take the best picture that I could to show the size comparison. And then you want to take detailed photos if you're able to do that. And then that way you can turn it into dispatch. So, like I said, that was definitely an animal because it clearly had like the hoof and everything. But yeah, so I just wanted to give a little bit of education on that. Like I said, don't pick them up, don't touch them unless dispatch asks you to collect them, which might be the case. So, all right, guys, I have summited Blacktail Butte, 7,681 feet here in elevation. So, super cool. Like I said, cool summit. This is my first solo summit, so. And this is the last point that I'm hitting before I turn around and head back. I'm at the end of the trail for this trail anyway. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is cool. The water has made a tunnel under the snow, and it's coming out the other side. Okay guys, that was an amazing hike. I am so exhausted now though. But that was honestly like really worth hiking all the way up there for that. Let me check my mileage and I'll get back to you. So all the way up to Blacktail Butte overlook, the peak, it was about 5.5 miles there and back. And then I had about 14,000 feet elevation gain is what my map is reading, but I don't know how accurate that is, but I rate that trail 10 out of 10. Now in terms of difficulty, I would definitely say this is not like a beginner trail because it was pretty like steep at points, but at the same time I feel like once the snow and ice melts it won't be that bad, but I would definitely rate it as a difficult trail for sure. So it's definitely not like one if you've never been hiking before you would just want to jump on and do it, but other than that, it was a great trail and I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm hungry, so we're about to go try Dornans. So this is Dornans. It's like a little kind of like town where you can buy stuff at and things like that. So I'm gonna go into these shops and let you guys know what they look like. This pizza looks so good. So this is like a little grocery store that's inside of the park down here in Moose. They sell produce, pretty much anything but good. I'm sick and tired. Low-key guys, I almost gave up a lot of stuff that I have caught myself that I'm back to doing now, that I almost like stopped doing completely. So yeah, I'm back to playing my ukulele. I'm back to doing artwork. I'm back to, yeah, actually just doing a lot of stuff that I was told that I would never be good enough to do. So don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough to do anything, and do things on your own time. You have to like enjoy doing it. It's not something that should be forced. So yeah, I feel like this year I've learned a lot of things, and being here, you don't have to be good. Don't make people make you feel like you have to be like good. Like being good like takes time. Mainly it's just about like what you enjoy doing, because life's too short to be made for you to like feel like you can't do things or you have to be great at it. You don't have to be great. Just do what you like to do in your own time and you'll get there. So anyway, outside of playing the ukulele today, I'm actually trying to dry out orange slices because I want to hang them in the window. So we're attempting to dehydrate them based off of what the internet said. So I'll show you what I did with the oranges now that they're dry. I made a little wind chime out of them, so it's just a pretty natural sun catcher. So good morning guys. So just a little recap on my day off yesterday. I honestly did not do a whole lot because it's kind of like cloudy and a little bit like rainy here, and it's really cold. So pretty much all that I did yesterday was I made this little like orange wind chime for like my window, and then I went to the gym and I worked out for a little bit, and then I came back and I watched a movie for like the rest of the afternoon. So it was like a nice little like off day, but I came into Jackson today. Today's the day I'm gonna do all my grocery shopping. And I'll show you, I just came to REI just to browse around. I love REI. This is the REI of Jackson. It's a lot smaller than the majority of the REIs, but well, it has everything backpacking that you need in it, so I can show you guys inside. Hey guys, so I am on my way to Edna for the day, and I stopped in this little town to go check out the grocery store. There's like one thing that I need for dinner, and I cannot find it anywhere. For whatever reason, I guess Wyoming doesn't sell sweet and sour sauce, and they don't have it in Jackson at all. I went to all the food stores, so I'm gonna try this little food store. I'll show you guys here in a second. It is this store. Okay, me and the snake just scared each other pretty bad. He's a cool looking guy, but he's chilling. Gonna do some art. Bison! I'm pulling with the bird. I made a little Nutella pizza for me and Claire, so. Hey guys, so I did just want to do one last video before I post this video tomorrow. So I just kind of wanted to summarize the rest of like the day, I guess, and yesterday. I didn't cover really too much more other than like the hike that I did. some kind of like outdoor principles, things like that. But today we kind of just worked in the office and did the same thing in terms of like issuing permits at Coulter Bay. So a lot of my days are going to kind of look like this. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit different for me. I'm actually going on patrol, and I'm going to patrol kind of the first little portion of Paintbrush Canyon to kind of see how many campsites are thawed out, because I do know that that portion is still covered in snow, but the camping zones are starting to thaw out. So I'm going to hike up there tomorrow. That's going to be what I do on my patrol. See how far I can get up the Paintbrush Divide Trail. I can go, and then I will report what I find to backcountry so that if anybody calls in and wants to camp there, then we'll know how many sites are melted out. So that's my plan for tomorrow, and I'll kind of show how to call in on the radio and kind of like what we say and things like that too. I'll show all of that in next week's video, so you guys will kind of get to see that. But yeah, today was good. After work, I came home, made some dessert for me and Claire. I made the little, I'm calling them Nutella pizzas, so those were really good. You guys have to try it. It's a great camp food too. Basically it's just a piece of pita bread, some sugar, some cinnamon, cover it Nutella, some marshmallows on top, and then you're gonna stick it in the oven and broil it until the marshmallows like melt and get kind of like nice and crispy. Then you'll pull it out and sprinkle it with strawberries, and that's how you make Nutella pizza, and it is really, really good. It is a must try. So thank you guys for watching this week. I do hope that you enjoyed this week's video. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content, and I will see you guys in next week's video. So have a great week, everyone.